Temperature control in Way of Winter is the primary concern in oncehuman's new PvE scenario, but it comes at a high cost for your territory. Either lots of power usage for heaters spaced around, or a visit from this big guy using the thermal tower spectacle collaboration. If you're starting out or playing solo, I've built and tested the perfect base progression to survive with just one heater or cooler in the frozen tundra or in a river of lava. All this week I'll be making guides to make your day one experience of Way of Winter that little bit better. So be sure to check out this playlist for the videos that have already been published, and subscribe for the videos to come.
Get on with it.
Starting with the triangular foundation hexagon,
Yes, get on with it.
we'll add the walls and a simple ceiling just to make our starter. Adding the campfire to the dead centre of the room. And then put our facilities around the outer edge. I'm also using my box stacking technique to access 3 from the same position and no messing about. If you want to add a bed, then you'll find you can't get in. I like to compare what you can cook on the stove and what you can cook with your camp, and then get rid of the stove. Moving the disassembly bench to next to the boxes so it's there for easy access on entry to the base. You can then go to sleep. When you're ready for phase 2, add squares onto the existing foundations and then fill in the gaps with triangles. Add walls, door and ceiling. And then we'll make it open plan again. But now, if we look at the temperature when I run to the outside edge of the room, you'll see it drops the bonus from the campfire. So it's time to replace it with the simple vintage stove, which can also be used as a cooler, provided of course you've got the cold crystal ore required. And keep an eye out for the best locations to find hot and cold rock ore coming soon. For aesthetic reasons, I like to do an Alt and scroll just to drop the inner foundation down a little step. And now you'll see that when we run around the outside of the room, we're at full toastiness. Expand out from the triangular foundations one more time with squares, add sloped walls and roofs, and then we're almost at our final form. Putting the resonant filter in place of the stove, and putting the stove up on the roof, because the heating bonus applies in all directions, not just to the walls. When we're ready for power, I'll get rid of the stove and replace it with an electric heater. For 12 watts of power, it adds 20 degrees C of coziness all the way around the inside of our base. And to make sure that we optimize the space used, we'll punch out the walls in front of the sloped ceilings and then move our utilities out into the alcoves, including committing the cardinal sin of putting the cooker next to the fridge, and all that's left to do on the ground floor is to decorate. And before we finish up on the first floor, let's take a little look around. All of the facilities that you could possibly want, nicely spaced out, and still getting maximum heat efficiency if we wanted to place anything else. Moving to the first floor, I used half walls on top of half walls, and yes, I used the glass pack to add my Arctic exploration aesthetic. I'll then use the half wall stacking technique for the planter boxes.
Get on with it.
Sorry. Bottom 2 rows will be used for scarlet calamus or mushrooms, as they don't receive any light, and will be used to make fertilizer. A grocery room will handle those for us, and we'll deal with the top. You could add a balcony, as I have done here, to help with your purification defense. Thanks to this base's small design and space efficiency, it makes it incredibly easy to fit it in any area, including in the heavily polluted area that's available day one. And for that, and more oncehuman news, tips, tricks and guides, please be sure to subscribe. And until the next one, my fellow mayflies, beware the fridges.